Well, judging from the carving on your desk, it looks like his name is Ozzy.
Yes, and apparently he rules.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
So anybody who uses Facebook and follows the official Star Wars account, official Star Wars page, feel like you're being trolled right now? Using this image of Vadolf Vemler, Rey, and that stupid rolling soccer ball, BB-8, and talking about the iconic photography of the twin suns, here to garner interest, not in Star Wars, but in the sequel trilogy. Period. This is a troll, guys. This is a troll. And wanted to bring this up because there was nothing else for them to talk about. So last week, they did The Empire Strikes Back, and they piggybacked The Farce Awakens. And now they're just using The Farce Awakens, trying to get people to go on Disney Plus to watch it. I would love to see the numbers of how many streams The Farce Awakens gets compared to the OG, compared to the prequels. Right? Last week was an obvious attempt to get OG fans to watch The Farce Awakens and to watch the sequel trilogy, and it didn't work. Again, another one on a Monday morning. Here we go. And why am I talking about this? Because, again, I feel like they're trolling. They don't have a social media account guy right now. Dustin Sandoval is gone. So it looks to me anyway that the nasally voiced cat lady, Christine Baver, who edits the Star Wars page, IP address, their official page, is running the social media account. Why are they doing this? Here, this is from last week. This is Luke in the hallway on Cloud City, and Rey in the hallway in the vision she had of Cloud City. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It was the stupidest moment, and of many stupid moments in The Farce Awakens. Why are they doing this? Something's going on here. Something that, in my opinion, is insidious and is wrong. And it has everything to do with trying to preserve the sequel trilogy. And it's an obvious attempt to preserve the sequel trilogy and keep it in the timeline. And this is how much emotional investment the crew at Lucasfilm who supported this garbage have in Rey, the fake Skywalker, and Vadolf Vemler right here, right? And it's unbelievable that the echo chamber of San Francisco and LA does not allow for rational thought amongst them. That Bob Iger could tell them, this character doesn't sell any merchandise. She's not going to get people to come and sit in the seats to a movie. Nobody likes her. That's why they're doing this. That wouldn't make a dent. They would say this is a lie. If you go to the Star Wars page on Facebook, you cannot post pictures. You can do GIFs, but you can't post a meme. And the reason why is because last week you could, now you can't. Because they're getting ripped apart with, I think it's deserved. Because this has been literally the worst continuation of a franchise, I think, in the history of Hollywood. I've called it lazy ass writing. It's soft reboot, and it is. So why are they doing this? Why are they're trolling us now? Do they know the end is nigh? Matt Martin himself said canon doesn't matter anymore. Let's talk further.
I take it back. You're not unprofessional. You're a freaking loon.
Yep. I want to get out of here before her trainer shows up with a bucket of live mice for her pre-show feeding.
Yeah, when are you going to stop blighting the environment with this atrocity? My God, can't you see that it wants to die? Let it go.
So, why are they doing this? Because Disney's not going to follow up with the Rey movie. They're not going to continue on the woke trip. Now, if you notice what happened to Cracker Barrel, Cracker Barrel's CEO did the same thing to Cracker Barrel that Kathleen Kennedy did to Star Wars. Eliminated everything that made Star Wars great for a woke agenda. Rey, the bestest ever. She doesn't need any training. She's a girl boss. We got Vice Admiral Gender Studies. Rose Tico's Maoist inflammatory speech during the subplot to Nowhere in The Last Jedi. None of it is a natural way of storytelling. This is what Marxists do, just like what happened with Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel ruined its logo. They eliminated the old home charm of the restaurants and, downgraded the food quite a bit. And now they're losing money. I would think that the people at Lucasfilm that still dwell in this echo chamber would have a moment of clarity and realize you cannot take what made Star Wars great and remove it and still think people are going to go. Still think people are going to buy the figures. I mean, look, Lucasfilm itself is in trouble. You go to Ollie's and they have, I think they're 12-inch figures of Phoebe Waller-Bridge from The Dial of Destiny at Ollie's. And that movie came out in 2023. Again, we're dealing with people who live in San Francisco who have no idea how the real world works. And instead of actually being in a place where there's a diverse thought process, where they actually have people who know how to sell things, market things, who know how the economy works, they've got people who just repeat what they think, right? And the reality is, the sequels are dead. This is a dead end. And when you hear someone say, it's not a dead end, it's fine, they can do it, and they can keep the Rey story going. No, they can't. No, they can't. Because Rey, guys, doesn't sell merchandise. The sequel trilogy doesn't sell merchandise. And I think, Oscar Isaac, when he said no to the fan when he asked if he was going to be in the Rey movie, that was pretty much, in my opinion, a definite statement that it wasn't going forward. You can take that for anything he wants. His character's just not going to be in it. Okay, fine. If that's what helps you sleep at night. But it also could mean there isn't a Rey movie. They didn't call me because they don't want it, right? 2 movies coming out, Mando and Grogu, and the Starfighter have nothing to do with the Skywalker saga in any way. At least Starfighter doesn't, according to Sean Levy. And it's really interesting watching this as it goes forward. The emotional, I think, reaction to all of this. Because you don't go and troll fans with things like what I just showed you from the Star Wars Facebook page, because you are very happy about whatever, right? No, they're doing this because they're trying to dredge up interest and to make people think there's a Rey movie coming, and there isn't. And I'm going to say this until Bob Iger gets out there and says, there is no Rey movie, we're going to get hit with it. We are going to get beaten over the head with that until he says no, right? Now, does all of this garbage coming from the Star Wars Fakebook account and probably Christine Baver, does it matter? No, it doesn't. This is just a bunch of loose cannons who see the end coming, right? I would say this is the last woke freakout from the idiots who probably had everything to do with Gina Carano getting fired, who started the Phantom Menace is a hate group, blah, blah, blah. It's all designed to get people to think otherwise. And the left does this all the time. Problem for them now is X, is puck.com, is Cameron Pasha's Patreon, right? That's what it is. And they can sit there and say the sky is bright orange when it's as blue as blue can be. And we're all like, no, it's blue. Everybody in the room says it's blue except for you. No one believes them anymore. If you start thinking about the economics of the sequel trilogy and how much money they lost, and they lost money. Don't care about them bragging about gross box office, because that's not what Disney takes home. And everybody knows that. The people who talk about gross box office don't understand how money is made. And, they look at their paycheck and go, I made, or let's say, I made, $5,000 this week. Gross. Comes back to $3,750, right? That's what net box office is. It's what you actually get. And the sequel trilogy did not earn money. Honest to God, when I look at all the movies that Kathleen Kennedy allowed to happen at Lucasfilm, I don't think they made money at all. All right? I really, really don't. Because look, Disney's not going to tell you. You have to look yourself and to find the numbers yourself, because they're not going to announce, yeah, we suck. Now they're running around saying they want an IP that appeals to boys. The reason why you bought Lucasfilm, for crying out loud, is because you wanted it to appeal to boys. And then you had Kathleen Kennedy run Lucasfilm. What did you think was going to happen? And now you got a bunch of, Gina Carano hating left-wing activists who see the end is coming, and they can't accept the honest-to-God truth because they live in an echo chamber. They really, when you look at someone like Pablo Hidalgo, Christine Baver, anybody who lives in that corridor between San Francisco and Los Angeles, they cannot accept reality. And the reality is, it is economically unwise and unfeasible for Lucasfilm to make a Rey movie and for Lucasfilm to continue on that path. But they still continue to troll people, maybe even to get attention. I don't know. Maybe to make people think it's happening. And maybe they want to, like Kennedy said years ago, This nonsense will end or I will burn it all down. She did a pretty good job with the Book of Boba Fett, didn't she? Maybe that's what's going on here. I don't know. Just thought this was an interesting topic. This is Steph signing out. See you around the galaxy.